It's such a dork. I'm always so early. And then I saw the construction. I thought, oh, maybe they moved it. I didn't think that it was just too early.
Right on.
Shut up.
Just yours, your worship. You can use mine.
Sure.
More loud.
And put it about the middle, then we can just lean over and don't switch it back and forth. Do you want to sit down and join the club? Join the club.
Oh.
Mine doesn't work.
Oh.
You know, I'm wondering if we don't unplug Rimples and plug it in here, but it would work. Shouldn't be a long meeting. Dwight, I'm gonna try something.
Mike, let me do that. You call me to order. Take this. Do you want some more potato? No, I'm good. Please, come on over.
Perfect. Are we ready? Everybody ready? Okay. Jennifer, ready? I'll call the meeting of November 19th, 2014 to order. First order of business is agenda. Any amendments or deletions?
Nothing, Your Worship.
Councilor Boakland?
I have nothing.
Councilor Deputy Mayor Walls?
Your Worship, two under questions between councilors and our administration. One bylaw and a question regarding parking, and then nothing further, Your Worship.
Okay. So, did administration get that information? Okay. You want to repeat it again, please?
One bylaw question and then a question regarding parking.
Okay.
That's okay. Carry on.
I'm ready. Nothing for me, Your Worship.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship.
And I do have a couple of quick questions that I'll be asking administration at the end too. Serious.
And sorry, Your Worship, under 5.1, we also have an addition of Strathmore Regional Arts Collective.
Yes, I have that one. Thank you.
Your Worship, I'd move to adopt the agenda as amended.
Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor? And carried. And adoption of minutes of November the 5th, 2014.
So moved, Your Worship.
I have a motion on the floor to accept the minutes of November 5th, 2014. Is there any discussion? Deputy Mayor Walls.
Your Worship, I'd like it noted that resolution 305.11-14. Says moved by Councillor Walls. Actually, it was Councillor Blokeland who.
What page is that?
Your worship, page 4 on the minutes, page 5 of our package. It was moved by Councillor Blokeland.
And administration has that. Thank you. Any other amendments? Seeing none, all in favor? And carried. First item on our agenda is 6.1 bylaw 1421, animal control bylaw. Oh, I'm sorry. Delegations. I'll take my glasses off so I can see and I still can. Yes. Delegation, Strathmore Regional Arts Collective. And if Ms. Hebbs would like to come forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Your Worship,
Good
councillors.
evening.
Good evening.
Ms. Ebbs.
I won't take up much of your time today. I just wanted to come here on behalf of Strathmore Regional Arts Collective and thank you for helping us with our festival and our arts collective in general. Not only for the funds, but for all the manpower hours. You actually had a lot of town bodies there, not specifically councillors, but a lot of the councillors and a lot of your support staff as well. And it was just really awesome to see that kind of support, both for ourselves as the Arts Council and for other people in the community, I think, to see that kind of support as well so that they realize, well, arts is actually important in Strathmore. I believe, well, I could tell from the notes there that you have the budget and the expenditure funds in your notes as well as a thank you letter. I'm just wondering if there's any questions you'd like me to ask about anything what we've been doing or anything regarding the budget, anything at all, actually.
Councillor Sobel?
Actually, no question, but I would make a comment. It's a little embarrassing for me to see you get up there and thank us for this because I happen to know what you've given over the years to our community in regards to arts. There's countless hours of volunteer work, and all of it is volunteer work. So, Brandy, seriously, on behalf of I think everyone on council and our community, thank you for doing such a fine job in bringing forth the arts and culture in our society. Well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you. There's a lot of people that put a lot of work into it.
I know, but you're at the lead, kiddo.
Thank you.
Did you have something you wanted to say too?
I just want to echo Councillor Bob Stoll. Having sitting on your committee under your direction has been a privilege and a pleasure.
And I'll say because of you and people like you, you make Strathmore better. Thank you.
No questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brandy.
Now, thank you. Our first item on the under bylaws is 6.1 bylaw 1421 animal control, and that's being brought forward by administration. Good evening.
Good evening, Your Worship. Your Worship, at the November 5th, 2014 regular council meeting, council instructed administration to bring back an amendment to the animal control bylaw to allow for emotional support animals in the town of Strathmore. The request to amend the bylaw came from a citizen who has asked the town to amend the animal control bylaw to allow for pot-bellied pigs, as the family keeps a pig for emotional support for their daughter. In drafting the attached amendment that's in your packages, administration contacted Municipal Affairs to inquire if a resolution to provide for an exception to the current animal control bylaw could be made. Municipal Affairs informed us that a resolution would not be sufficient in doing so, that an exception would have to be made into the animal control bylaw itself. It would not also be appropriate to include a provision within the animal control bylaw for the Dahl family only. Municipal Affairs suggested that the only possible change that we can make to the bylaw to allow for an exception would be to include an actual clause that would allow council to grant an exception to any section of the bylaw if deemed appropriate. We were warned, though, that this clause could be challenged and that including this type of clause defeats the purpose of having a bylaw. Therefore, the best option that administration is bringing forward to council is in the form of the attached drafted bylaw, which allows for emotional support animals in the town of Strathmore. In the bylaw, an emotional support animal will only be allowed if documentation is provided to the town that shows 1. Certification from a Canadian authority qualifying the animal as an emotional support animal, and 2. A letter from a licensed health professional indicating the individual's medical need for an emotional support animal under the referral of a medical doctor. Requirements that pertain specifically to potbelly pigs have also been added to the amendment. Although this is the best option that administration has considered, there still remains concerns that this amendment will open the doors to allow for many other different types of animals in the town of Strathmore, should they be considered emotional support animals. Should future requests come forward to council to allow for other types of emotional support animals, further amendments will need to be made to the animal control bylaw that are specific to the requirements of each particular species. We're open to any questions you may have.
Questions, please. Councillor Fuel?
Thank you, Your Worship, through the chair to Jen and Teresa. If other people did come forward with requests for emotional support animals, they would still have to meet the various criteria that we have set in place.
That is correct.
Thank you.
No further questions?
Your Worship, I move that council give first reading to bylaw 14-21, Animal Control Amendment Bylaw.
We have a motion on the floor. All in favor? Carried.
Your Worship, I would move that council gives second reading to bylaw number 14-21, Animal Control Amendment Bylaw.
Any questions?
Excuse me, Elizabeth?
Yes.
I do have a question for through the chair to our animal bylaw control officer. And that question pertains to the doll case specifically. And my question is, do you believe that the doll family has met the requirements as outlined? And I'll tell you why I asked the question. The motion made last council meeting by Councillor Blockland said that council instructs administration to draft a bylaw to allow for an amendment to the animal control bylaw to permit the family to have the potbelly pig at their residence, and that the bylaw be brought forward today. So knowing that and appreciating the work that's been done by administration with regards to this issue, I just am asking if you believe, with the information that you now have in your possession, that the Dahl family has met the criteria.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Your Worship, I am...
Oh, 1 second. Councillor Blockman,
I
questions?
wasn't finished.
Oh, go ahead. Are we gonna- Sorry. I thought you, sorry, go ahead.
I just want to say, Your Worship, that I am extremely grateful to administration for the work that you've gone to. It's been excessive. And I am very glad that Cassandra will have her pet home. Thank you.
Councillor Blockman.
Thank you through to Jen here and everybody else in the room here. This has been a very trying set of circumstances for going back for about a year now. And at the last previous council meeting, I did indeed direct administration by motion to bring forward to council an amendment with special conditions attached to amend the animal control bylaw with specific regards to a Vietnamese potbelly pig. That amendment is in front of us now with 12 special conditions attached. I don't know myself if there's a stronger bond between two humans as there is between a human and their pet. In this case, a Vietnamese potbelly pig, which is not recognized under our animal control bylaw. As a citizen of the town of Strathmore, I don't have a problem with this. I do have a compassionate side of me, as I like kittens and teddy bears. As a town councillor, however, I have to exercise my common sense and judgment to come up with a fair and reasonable decision to vote on one way or the other. I strongly believe we're headed into uncharted waters with this, and there could be major repercussions in the future. However, if all 12 of these conditions are approved and amended into the animal control bylaw, I will consider supporting this motion.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there any further discussion? All in favor? We need unanimous consent for third reading.
Your Worship, I'd move that council give unanimous consent to third reading of bylaw 14-21 animal control amendment bylaw.
All in favor? Carried.
And your worship, I would move the council give third and final reading to bylaw number 14-21, animal control amendment bylaw.
Discussion?
Your worship, to our peace officer. For clarification, they can bring their Vietnamese pot-belly pig home tonight.
Yes, there's only a few stipulations. We just need to have some weight done according to the steps that we've got in here, just to verify it.
And your worship, a subsequent question to our municipal clerk. Is there going to be some fees? I'd like to have a conversation about the fees and so forth that are associated with licensing this pig. Obviously making it so we're aware of the pigs and all the rest of the town. Is that going to be coming back forward to council?
Absolutely. There's a license requirement, and if this bylaw is passed tonight, administration will be bringing forward fees for licensing for potbelly.
And your worship, if I may, another question to our municipal clerk. Is it a possibility to get an idea of what municipalities around the area are charging for Vietnamese potbelly pigs?
We'll bring that information forward at the next meeting.
Thank you.
Further questions? Seeing none, all in favor? Bylaw is passed. No business. New business, nomination for the 2014 Stars of Alberta Volunteer Awards. And what I'd like to do at this time is I'd like to turn the floor over to Councillor Sobel, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Each year, the Alberta government, and specifically the Alberta Culture and Tourism Department, hold a Stars of Alberta Awards program, and they accept nominations. Earlier this year, I spoke with a potential recipient of this and submitted an application for the volunteer awards, which is referred to as the 2014 Stars of Alberta. And with council's permission, I would like to read what I wrote about this gentleman, who is Bruce Bishop, of course. So Mr. Bishop is quite simply the consummate volunteer, a person that every organization wants to have on their team and any municipality would quickly welcome as a resident. After a 25-year career in the RCMP, Bruce became a journeyman carpenter. By all reports, he was always a hard worker, dedicated to his craft. He was a person who did not appreciate the confines of a schedule or a normal workday. When he retired from his carpentry job in 2012, no one would have denied him the right to sit back and relax. This was not, however, what Mr. Bishop had in mind. As a long 30-year member of the Strathmore Lions Club, Bruce has always been very active. Not content to simply sit on the sidelines, Bruce volunteered for positions as director, secretary numerous times, treasurer numerous times, and club president. While approaching the end to his second career, Bruce felt the need to become further involved with this great organization. He applied for and was granted the position of Lions Zone Chairman. The following year, he was placed in a position of Vice District Governor, and then in 2012-13, Bruce was named the District Governor, a position which saw him overseeing 53 Lions clubs. Bruce's commitment and contributions to the Lions Club is best described as phenomenal. Describing his involvement in the Strathmore Club is an arduous affair, as Bruce is someone who enjoys being involved with all facets of the club. Each year, the town of Strathmore hosts Heritage Day celebrations, which also sees the Agricultural Society hosting the Strathmore Rodeo, one of the largest rodeos in North America. Long ago, this was deemed a good location for the Lions to raise funds for community projects, and Bruce has been an integral part of ensuring they are successful. Using his carpentry skills, he built an infield food booth, thus affording yet another location for the Lions to work out of. He has been the manpower manager for years and ensured the proper supplies were always ordered and on site. It must be finally noted that Bruce is always first in line to work shifts during the stampede as well, cooking burgers and fries, etc. In addition, and still focusing on Bruce's involvement with the Lions, it's noted that Bruce is an integral organizer of the annual Lions auction, an event for which is always popular and well attended. This is an important event for the Lions and certainly their biggest fundraiser. Bruce's main duties at this event has for years been the coordination of volunteers, over 90. Bruce is successful in this job as he leads by example. According to the Lions reference, Gordon Pruski, Bruce did the majority of work for these events, and through his hard work and attention to detail was instrumental in seeing the Lions raise literally hundreds of thousands of dollars at these events. Bruce has had the honor of sponsoring more new Lion members than anyone else in the club, and has also been a key host and organizer for the Lions Youth Exchange Program. It's abundantly clear why Bruce volunteers so diligently with the Lions. He wants to be part of a group of people who are simply dedicated to making the town of Strathmore a better place, one project at a time. Bruce has been a key ingredient and supporter for many other successful projects. Community signs, Lions Splash Park, Skateboard Park, Seniors Christmas Tea, Strathmore Library Books on Tape Program, Community Crisis Center donation, Aquatic Center donation, Student Scholarships Program, Youth Exchange Programs, Royal Canadian Air Cadet Squadron donation, Wheatland Housing donation, Highway Cleanup Program, and Strathmore Handy Bus Association donation. Although obviously quite busy with the Lions Club, Bruce also saw fit to become involved with the celebration of Lights Christmas Park, beginning in 2011. In addition to using his considerable skills to build wooden signs, displays, and actual buildings for use by the public, Bruce organized a work bee, calling on his fellow Lions for assistance in 2013 to have the snow removed from areas not being done, and then to assist in putting the displays up. His reference suggests that Bruce was instrumental in making the lights what it is today. She adds that their group is lucky to have him as part of their Christmas Park committee, as he always goes above and beyond in not only assisting them, but the whole town as well. In June of 2013, the town of Strathmore was awarded the honor of hosting the 2015 Alberta 55 plus 55 Summer Games. Shortly thereafter, a committee chair was named, and she is the third reference for this application. Mrs. Ledeen has felt fortunate to have Bruce volunteer as the Director of Volunteers for this massive undertaking. The Games will see over 1,200 participants and another 800 guests take part in a 4-day event. It's estimated that 800 volunteers will be required to run the Games successfully. A special type of person is required to identify those persons willing to volunteer and to coordinate them properly. Bruce is being described as a person who will go above and beyond the call of duty and is consistently on top of issues and concerns. He is, according to Ms. Ledeen, a very well-organized individual who's keen on details and avoids procrastination. What is most impressive about is Bruce's avoidance of the spotlight. And I know he's probably hating this whole thing tonight. This is simply someone who stays behind the scene and makes things happen. He is, in her words, a true volunteer, someone who gets involved because he believes it's good for the community. And I'm almost done, folks. Although it is a difficult task to estimate the amount of hours Bruce Bishop donates to his volunteer activities, a strong effort was made to do just that. And conservatively, it's estimated that Bruce volunteers about 800 hours a year. During his year as district governor of the Lions, that number was quite easily doubled. Although not a recorded reference, I feel that I'm well equipped to discuss the ways in which Mr. Bishop's efforts have improved or benefited the overall quality of his life. Quality of life of his fellow Albertan and community as a whole. I'm aware, for instance, that prior to becoming part of the Strathmore Lions Club, Bruce joined the Brooks Kinsman Club in 1970, and after being transferred to Elk Point in 1975, joined their Lions Club. He has, in effect, been involved in community service groups for over 44 years. My position as town councillor has brought me in close contact with Bruce and the incredible work he's accomplished with the Strathmore Lions Club. I'm aware that in addition to all the aforementioned projects he and his friends have brought to the municipality, Bruce has also been focused on global projects as well. He's been involved in furthering the Lions Recycle for Site program, the Lions Club International Foundation, the Lions Foundation of Canada, the Lions Project Pride program, and various blood donor clinics, youth exchanges, and the Peace Poster competition. As a community member, Bruce's contribution has been personally felt, for he's a person who can start, run, and then finish a project. He is, as stated previously, the consummate volunteer. Well, there was hundreds of people that names were put into this for this award, and unfortunately, Bruce wasn't in the top 2. But Alberta Culture and Tourism felt the need to recognize him, and they've sent down a certificate. And if he'd be so kind as to join me, I'd like to present that to him now. Bruce. from Alberta, but more than anything, it's from us, and we thank you very much for everything you've done for our town.
Thank you.
Can I get a picture?
Maybe in front of council? Want to come up?
Where's your tie, Pat?
Never got the memo.
Did everybody get in there?
Yeah, come on, let's all squeeze in. So,
Well, actually, Denise, can you move yours? Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you, Your Worship.
thank you, Councillor Sobel. Our next item on our agenda is staff attendance at Calgary Regional Partnership Transportation Committee meetings and administration. If you bring that forward, please.
Yes, we felt that we really need somebody attending Calgary Regional Partnership, particularly pertaining to the transportation group and transit group. And in the past, we've had various planning staff attend off and on. But anyway, now we have a new junior planner that's enthusiastic. We thought it'd be ideal if I appointed him to that group. And after I met with him, talked to him, he was very happy about it. We have contacted Calgary Regional Partnership, and Jennifer is going to make sure he gets all the material. I told him all the dates coming up and the teleconferencing calls and so on. So anyway, I'm happy we were able to appoint him to that committee.
Councillor Sobel?
I just a quick comment. That's my committee, Your Worship, and I'm very excited about this. There's been great strides done in the CRP Transportation Steering Committee, which is focused right now on bringing regional transportation to all the municipalities that are involved with CRP. So and it's progressing quite well and rapidly. So this is an opportune time. This is exactly the perfect time to have someone from our planning department start attending these meetings, because it will have some impact on our town. So I appreciate the CAO's choice in this, and look forward to working with Chuck on this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Peterson?
I think it's a wonderful idea, especially if it has good ramifications for Strathmore. I guess what I would really be interested in seeing is reports to council relevant to this in the near future.
Thought I was doing that.
Relevant to Strathmore. We haven't heard much about what good it does for us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking
Well,
for.
and we're just starting down that road. Yeah. Do we need a motion on that?
No.
I don't think so.
It's just, yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next item is attendance at the Global Petroleum Show for 2015, and again, administration, if you bring that forward, please.
In the past, we've attended the Global Petroleum Show, and we've gone to a couple of different ones. And in Calgary, the last time we went 2 years ago, we had a massive turnout of people going through. They were all oil executives, oil people. And anyway, we discussed again among management a bit, should we be going to it again? The price for the booth is about $5,200. The size of the show is absolutely phenomenal. And I thought I'd bring it here, see what council thought about it. And if council would like us to organize it again.
Questions to administration? Councillor Sobel?
I appreciate the size and the amount of people that go through this, but if we're going to go to a trade show, and I've said this before, and I hate to repeat myself, but I want to have a goal. I want to know that why we're going there. Who are we trying to attract, or what are we trying to attract? And then we have to adjust I believe we have to adjust our booth accordingly. So, and that's why I'm hesitant on this. I'm not exactly sure who we're going after on this. I can see the Home and Garden Show. We're going after, basically we're going after residents of the city of Calgary or people that are going by, saying this is what we have to offer you as a community nearby your city. And I think it's fairly successful. At least it has been in the times that I've been at the trade show. But I guess I question as to where we're going here.
I guess on this particular one, I think it'd be ideal if we could have some of the oil people from our area participating in the booth, from Magnum Cement to some of the other oil firms here to participate. Just like the Home and Garden Show coming up, we've made arrangements already to have others attend with us. We've invited all the developers to come and spend a few hours there, bring their material and so on. If we go to this one, then I would think that like Magnum Cement and Rocking Horrors and so on could come and talk to the oil company people and try and get some of them to come out. We'd want John Govan there because he's got an industrial park that's all serviced. So it'd be sort of that aspect, promoting the oil development.
Councillor Peterson?
Through the chair to the administration, this is already in our budget line. There's budget assigned to this.
Yes.
Councillor Walls? Deputy Mayor Walls?
Your worship, to Dr. Stanford, can you comment about how many people, I know that the Home and Garden Show, we get thousands of people that stop by our booth. Can you comment about the Global Petroleum Show, how many people would stop at our booth?
I don't know how many stop at our booth, but I know that numbers at the show, I'd have to verify, but probably bigger than Home and Garden Show. Oil people come from all over North America, lots overseas. It's very big. The key thing, of course, we're trying to get them to locate a business out here in our industrial park. And we all want more industrial development and commercial development. And Home Garden Show promotes people to move out here, and it's great. But somehow if we can try and get more industrial, would help our tax base.
Your worship, if I may again, are we getting the best bang for our buck with this show?
It's hard to judge the results.
Councillor Sobel?
I'll tell you, I'm not prepared to vote in favor of this evening. We may want to decide to put this off. I like to see a plan in place before I voted for this, and to see if there's any interest in whether or not this is something that businesses in the area would be interested in even attending. If they're not attending it themselves, I mean, I don't know. I was at this one this year.
Yep.
And I mean, the focus is not on putting your town out there. The focus is on other stuff at this trade show. So I just, I like to see some success, but and I know it's hard to gauge that, but at the very least, I'd like to see a plan in place.
We'll prepare that.
Okay.
I don't know if the council wants to vote on this. If it was coming to me tonight, I wouldn't be in favor of it.
Who was first? Councillor Gill.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just to comment through the chair, I guess. I guess I'm leaning towards what's been said by Councillor Sobel. To me, it almost seems like we would have to tailor a specific display towards the petroleum industry as far as our lands and what we have to offer industry and what can be there for them as opposed to residential. So yeah, if there could be something put together that would showcase us specifically to the petroleum industry and what would be good for them relocating or expanding here, or what we have to offer them as far as an industry goes.
Councillor Peterson?
Thank you, Your Worship. I see potential in doing this. I see huge potential, especially if we can partner with existing businesses within our community. I think the businesses would find it advantageous in terms of being able to do that. And I think if the town moves into a position where they can help promote local business and community, and other businesses see that this is something that our community is interested in, that could be really powerful. So I'm putting together a package of a group going together with a common vision that supports industrial growth in this community. I would be very much in favor of that. And I'm prepared to make a motion, Your Worship, that the council direct administration to bring forth a plan to set up potential partnerships to register for the Global Petroleum Show from June 9th to June 11th, 2015.
Any discussion?
We should have a date, eh?
Well, I think there's a date that you received that we have to get back to them by, do we not?
We'll bring it to the next council meeting. We'll have it ready by then. I'll meet with some of the bigger firms, such as MJ Water Hauling, who are one of the biggest in the area. And like I said, Magnum Cement, Rock and Horse, and some others. Maybe they're willing to come in and pay for the booth, and we could participate with them.
Good. Okay, we have a motion on the floor. No further discussion? All in favor? Carried. Brownlee LLP Emerging Trends in Municipal Law Seminar 2015. And again, administration, please.
Your Worship, this is a seminar that Brownlee LLP puts on annually, and they talk about current trends and issues happening in municipalities, and how case law or events that have occurred with municipalities, particularly liability issues for municipal officials, that sort of thing. And this year's conference has some really good information. So we're just wanting to know if council would like to attend the seminar, and if so, if council can make a motion authorizing council to attend. We have 3 councillors so far who would like to attend, and if there's anybody else who's available to attend, that would be great.
Just confirming, it's a one-day seminar in Calgary.
Yes.
Thank you.
One-day seminar.
Councillor Pearson?
Your Worship, having seen, I've been lucky enough to see information from previous Brownlee seminars. I think it's something that I would love to attend, and I'm really glad that councillors are willing to attend and will bring back that information. So I'm prepared to move the council authorize Mayor Michael L., Councillor Rocky Blockland, and Councillor Bob Sobel to attend this seminar on behalf of Strathmore Town Council.
You have a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Last item is Strathmore Library Board volunteer appointment. Administration, please.
Your Worship, administration has received an application from Ms. Dudley Enslin to be appointed to the Strathmore Library Board for a term of 1 year, and that is administration's recommendation.
We have a recommendation. Is there any questions to administration?
Your Worship, so moved.
No. None? Okay. We have a motion on the floor to appoint. All in favor? Carried. No committee reports. And the next item on my agenda is questions between councillors and administration. Councillor Sobel, Councillor Blokeland?
I wasn't going to bring one up, but I do have one concerning parking tickets on snow removal on Waddy Lane just yesterday.
Okay, in what aspect? why we did or why we didn't, or?
I wasn't aware we were doing that, but I guess maybe we were. The situation that happened here was one person come and see me with his parking ticket. He wasn't so upset about his parking ticket because he was in and out of his house in 10 minutes, but whatever happened, happened. But he was more upset about a vehicle in front of him with Manitoba license plates on him that got a $50 parking ticket, which in a way doesn't look good for the town of Strathmore.
Teresa, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, the bylaw states, and we post signs 24 hours in advance, that snow removal is going to take effect on this day between 8:30 and 4:30. So we go to 8:30 in the morning, and we just start going down the streets. Any vehicle that's parked there, they get our $50 bylaw ticket. We actually should be towing. The bylaw says that too. And yes, the Manitoba.
Yeah, so I guess my question or my concern would be, obviously whoever owns the vehicle from Manitoba probably wasn't aware of that if they weren't looking at the signs.
I agree.
And it just
English in Manitoba.
But with the people, if they're staying with some residents coming to town, Strathmore, they should, the signs are posted 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
I do feel bad if they're out of town and visiting, but we have to be fair to every person that parks on the street, just not ticket some and drive past the next one because they're.
Thanks, Teresa.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Walls.
Your Worship, a question came to me from a couple of ratepayers regarding the fees bylaw that was just recently passed. I just want to make it very clear that we, through to administration, that in that fee bylaw that we passed last week, or the week before, that there are no longer non-resident fees. That part of the bylaw has been removed.
Your Worship, in the fees bylaw that was brought forward to council last week, that bylaw, there was a clause that bylaw takes effect as of January 1st, 2015. So as of January 1st, 2015, there will be no more out-of-town user fees.
Okay, perfect. And Your Worship, I guess my next question would be parking along Westridge Road. Some of the businesses along that road have taken a lot of good care in making that boulevard very nice and doing a lot of work with respect to mowing the grass and making it kind of like their own. I guess I'd like to see parking maybe a little bit more enforced along that road. There's areas where we probably shouldn't have people parking. Maybe we can just do some more additional work along that road, Dr. Stanford, just to keep the people that should be parking where they should be parking, where they shouldn't be parking. Maybe we can get after them a bit.
Okay, this has gone on for several years, and the peace officers, bylaw officers, been out there many, many times, particularly at the one on this end here, telling them that they've got to do something, and it's continued on. We've looked at lots of options, even in the past month. Do we put post and cable out there so they can't park there? Do we put no parking on the south side? Do we put no parking on the north side of the street there? If you remember down by Dairy Queen, at one time we had no parking and all. We ended up, we had to take it down, and now they can park on either side. Down there, you do find a few semis that stop, go to Dairy Queen, Tim Hortons or whatever, and people have to go around it. Over here, on this end, we don't find many semis that park there because there's not many food outlets other than by Subway there. We've looked at lots of options, but I know that it doesn't look good. We need to take some action, and maybe we're going to have to literally start fining them, giving them tickets. They've had lots of warnings, and see if we can do something there. We could put the post and cable, but if we put that along there, I'm not sure that's the way to go either. And I would like some input from council on this particular one, because we've worked on it for a long time.
Your Worship, I guess if I can go a little further, some complaints have been coming to me regarding people parking on and leaving vehicles on these areas along that Westridge Road. And first of all, it's a little bit of a safety concern for myself. If you have people walking up and down that road, which sometimes it could happen. First of all, now we're asking pedestrians now to maybe walk in the center of the road, which is very unsafe. Saying that though, obviously we can't put a path, can't put a sidewalk along that road. So, and to go a little further, what one business owner was saying is they do spend a lot of time and a lot of money in making that that green area out front of their businesses. They kind of take a little bit of pride in that. And when you have businesses or people that are just all of a sudden parking, like today down picking my daughter up from school, there's a guy just pulls around the curb in the grass area and just right beside me, really a non-parking area. And I understand that sometimes that stuff happens and so forth. But when you're continually doing that, you're starting to now, people are investing money and trying to make that in front of their business look very nice. But it's also now starting to say, they're saying to themselves, why should we bother doing that when people are just going to do whatever they want and park wherever they want and wreck that area where we're putting a bunch of money into it.
Councillor Peterson?
Through the chair to Councillor Walls, I'm just confused. What are you talking about? In front of SMP?
Yeah, that's the area that Strathmore Products is put a bunch of time and money into, and the area is in front of the auto wreckers and even further down by the I guess it'd be by the car wash.
And these are these people that are shopping in these areas that are parking along the road?
Some are shopping, some are leaving vehicles there overnight. Also, some people are just either employees or whatever. It's just that's what people are there.
Where does your child go to school? That's where it's
no, sorry, at the Sacred Heart, and that's where I was talking about people just driving over top of church, going wherever they want. Jeez, I feel like I'm on the hot seat here.
She's a little young to be going to storefront. I'm just wondering.
Yes, it's a tough area because if you take a look, being specific, Greg's Distributing paved right out to the road. Some of the others have paved out there. In front of the Chinese restaurant there's people parked there all the time, running in or going in to eat or whatever. So it's along that whole road. And I don't know. I need to know what council expect there.
Your Worship, I guess if I can ask another question to our municipal clerk, do we not have a bylaw stating you cannot park on town or not leave a vehicle on town property overnight? In parks.
In the parks bylaw, we have
Yes.
that. We have a bylaw that says you cannot park on the boulevard. And that's a boulevard.
That's a sorry, Your Worship. I guess I'm looking for a little clarification. That's a boulevard, so therefore there is no parking lot on that boulevard.
Yes. The boulevard, for example, in front of the auto wreckers, if people pull right to the building, tight to the building, that's as far, they can't be out any further. So you could only have that one row there. But now, as you know, there's usually two rows. Trees and the others have been, many times trying to get them to correct things.
Councillor Peel?
Thank you, Your Worship. Through the chair, maybe it's time that we started to enforce it more as far as that one establishment, because we had problems before on the past council with this becoming quite unsightly and parking everywhere. So maybe it's time to revisit that spot especially, and maybe there's some information pamphlets that can be put on windshields first to warn them about parking on the boulevard. Maybe it's time to start ticketing and to stop all of this. I'm just saying that the one area seems to be a recurring problem every year, and it doesn't seem to go away.
That's correct.
So then the option is, if administration wanted to come back and make a recommendation for us to do a motion on, we'd be pleased to address that. Or if you want bylaw to address the issue, and then if it doesn't solve it, then come back to us?
Your worship, if I may, just a little bit further, maybe a letter to the business owners along the road stating, hey, listen, try and keep your customers off that road. There's no parking on the boulevards. Just maybe a little bit of a heads up for them. And then, yeah, I definitely welcome a recommendation from the administration on how to proceed forward with this.
And the boulevard varies as you go along there.
Anything further?
No, your worship,
Deputy Mayor
thank you
Walls? No?
very much.
Okay. Councillor Fuel
Nothing from me, Your Worship.
and Councillor Peterson.
I have nothing else.
I just have, for information purposes, let me put it this way. Information came to me that the manager of the aquatic center was involved in a water rescue in late August in Harrison Hot Springs, where her and another person saved 2 people from drowning. I haven't confirmed that. I will leave that for administration to address. Okay. Yes. Yeah, okay. Representative for Masonic Lodge contacted me. They are looking at wanting to rebuild or build their lodge back in Strathmore. And with your permission, I would like to direct them to talk with administration and see whether or not there's something that we can co-op on or assist them in regards to giving them some help, some direction, some advice or whatever in regards to going forward with the Masonic Lodge.
The Masonic Lodge, the head person out of Calgary, met with me at least a half dozen times a couple of years ago, trying to find a spot where if we had land that we could give them so they could put a building up and all. And at that time, the town was not able to find land for them to do that. They ended up going to, I think, Irricana for a while, and then they're looking again now. But we can meet with them again. I guess our key thing was, council, all of us, is we wanted to make sure, okay, if you give them land, you have to give land to other groups as well.
No, I'm not suggesting we should necessarily give them land. I just want to open up a dialogue.
Sure,
to see
I'll
whether or
talk
not-
to him again.
Okay.
The guy from Calgary was very nice.
And just for my information, about a year, no, it's more than that. In 2011, we did Heritage Times Square, and we did a time capsule on that. And I was approached. Has that been sealed and finished? Okay, good. I will tell the person on that. And the other thing that I wanted to ask about is about a year ago, I had approached in regards to some sort of gift that we can use for dignitaries when they come to Strathmore, something that says Strathmore. And I'm just wondering if anything further has been done in regards to that. I know there was a discussion with Strathmore Regional Arts.
Yeah, Your Worship, in talking with Tracy, we've actually looked at some gifts that we could purchase to more higher end gifts that we could purchase to present to dignitaries. She's actually emailed me some options which I can maybe send forward to council, just so that you can have a look. But we do have some ideas of what we can present. Sorry, Linda has something further.
Sorry, we've also talked to the Strathmore Regional Arts Collective about having some sort of personal type of gifts that are made from our local artists, and they seemed interested in that. We just have to give them further information on what we're looking for.
Okay, good thing. Councillor Peterson.
Thank you, Your Worship. One of the things that we talked about at Strath that's worthwhile exploring further is that when we have artists, for instance, we have some amazing woodworking artists, and also the Wheatland Society for the Arts have an amazing amount of talent. So we were thinking if we could establish something that could be attached or lasered. So if there's Mr. Van Coolen, for instance, who's this remarkable woodworking artist, if he And he had, and his work is very, very highly sought after. And if there was a logo that he could laser into his work, it would be really useful. Likewise, having a logo on a pin that could be attached to canvases for the graphic artists, and also the same thing can happen for three-dimensional artists. They can attach to most materials that would reflect the town.
Okay, good. Thank you. Those are my questions. Appreciate it. Administration? Do you have any questions? No?
Worship, I move to go back in camera.
And,
Discuss land legal labor.
okay, thank you. We are going in camera. Thank you very much.